If you're thinking of moving to Spain, you need to know the real costs. Now, according to official numbers, the average cost of living in Spain is €1,150 per month. But what they don't tell you is that your cost of living can vary widely depending on where you are within the country by hundreds or even thousands of euro. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the real cost of living in Spain in different regions. We'll be covering the top budget categories from healthcare to housing, and you'll also hear from real people who are currently living here. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Kristin. I've been to more than 65 countries, and I've been helping people move abroad for 20 years. For more information, check the description below. And there you can also get access to our free Living in Spain budget guide. First things first, housing. Now, this is going to be your biggest expense regardless of where you live in the country, but the prices vary dramatically. I have a friend who lives in the center of Madrid in one of the nicest neighborhoods, and he pays €1,250 per month for an unfurnished studio, although it does have amenities like 24/7 security and a pool. I have two clients that are living in Valencia, and they have a furnished 2-bedroom property in the center for €1,500 per month. And then my clients who live here in A Coruña, they spend €1,000 per month for a furnished 5-bedroom apartment, although they have said that the prices have gone up in the past year since they moved in. So you could be easily looking at around €1,000 per month for rent, especially if you're in one of the city centers around the country. But if you'd like to get a little bit on the outskirts of the city, you can get your rent down below €1,000 per month. €850 is about the average around the country. But if you're in some of the smaller towns like Murcia or Cáceres, you can find prices from €450 to €600 per month. So the big tip here is if you're moving to Spain for the first time, you'll want to get a short-term rental to be able to see properties in person before you commit to a long-term lease, but you will be able to get those lower prices the longer that you stay, especially if you're open to an unfurnished rental. Also, wherever you're renting, ask if there are any utilities included, because that's going to be your next expense. Utilities in Spain can be pretty reasonable compared to what you're used to at home, but there's one thing that can wreck your budget, and that is climate control. So when two of my clients moved to Spain last year, their first utility bill was more than €250, and that was because of heating costs. The same goes for air conditioning in the summer. So if you're moving to Spain, make sure to keep your climate control in mind. If you're doing too much heating or too much AC, you can get a pretty nasty surprise at the end of the month. But after you budget for your electricity usage, well, the other utilities in Spain can be pretty affordable. For internet prices, to get really high-speed internet these days, from 500 megabits per second to 1 gig download speeds, you're looking at around 20 to 30, maybe €40 per month. For your cell phone, could be as low as 15, 20, €30 per month. And for water and gas, you're looking for about €20 per month for each one. Food is where Spain absolutely shines. The food not only tastes incredible, but it's also incredibly affordable, whether you're eating out or buying groceries. One of my friends who lives in Madrid almost had a heart attack when I told him how much I spend on groceries every month in the United States. Here, you can look to budget anywhere from €50 to €100 per month. At the local markets, your money can go a long way, even if you have about 20 or €30 on you. If you're out for a walk and you want to grab a croissant or a baguette, something like this will cost you €1.30. A kilo of fruit or vegetables, really any kind of produce, can run you between €1 and €3 per kilo. A dozen eggs, about €2.50, and a kilo of meat, such as chicken, about €7. We can't forget wine, of course. You can get a glass of wine at a restaurant for about €4 or €5, and it's the same price if you buy a bottle in a grocery store. The cost to eat out at a restaurant varies widely, so this depends on if you're going to a casual spot or somewhere more upscale, and it also depends where in the region of Spain that you're eating. So I found slightly different restaurant prices in the smaller towns compared to in the center of Madrid, for example. You could find even something like coffee, juices, wine, and beer that could cost, $2 in one area, could cost $4 or $5 somewhere else. The grand total for 4 entrees plus multiple drinks, coffees, teas, bottle of water, was €69.50, and that's also including tax and tip. And it was also similar to our lunch yesterday that also was about €60 for 4 people to order main plates plus some appetizers that we got as well. So, and drinks. So as Julian and Spencer said, when they go out to eat by themselves, they spend about €30 between each other. So you can focus on that, although we didn't have wine, but wine is almost the same price as like coffee or tea or water. So yeah, checks out. When it comes to transportation, getting around Spain is amazing. They have some of the best public transportation in the world. So you don't need to worry about getting a car or passing the driving exam here. You can easily get around on buses, trains, bicycles as well. You can actually be a part of the bicycle sharing and renting program here for about €50 per year. And one of my clients who lives here in A Coruña told me that he only used like €10 on his public transit card for an entire year because everywhere he went, he walked or biked around, and he only used the bus when it was raining. So if you're going to be hopping on the bus here, if you have the transit pass or the app, you can get rides as low as 40 cents one way, but in a lot of other parts of the country, I would find for €1.30, €1.50, or €2 for one way on a bus or one way on the metro. When it comes to booking your train, make sure to do that in advance because it can be the difference between paying €30 for a train ticket or $150 if you're buying it last minute. Gas here is €1.50 per liter instead of $1 or $2 or $3 a gallon. So it's about 3 liters per gallon. If you don't want to get a car, there's plenty of Ubers, taxis, and also Bolt is another ride sharing app. And I've seen rates for as low as maybe €4 or €5, depending on how far you're going. But during peak times, those prices can get really high. So during an off-peak time in Madrid, you might pay €5, €7, €10 for a ride, and that same distance at night on a weekend could cost you €25 or €30. Spain has one of the best healthcare systems in Europe, and healthcare is free for residents and citizens. So you can opt into the public healthcare system, or you can decide to pay for private healthcare, which could run you around €50 to €100 per month. I've also seen people pay out of pocket here, like a dentist appointment or just a normal checkup at the doctor could run you around €40 or €50. So the choice is up to you. Other types of services are also quite affordable as well. You can get a gym membership for €20 to €35 per month, a massage or a facial for €20 to €35 as well, maybe 40 or 50 at a more upscale place. Waxing, massage, €20 to €35. Pedicure, €20 to €35. And a haircut, I've seen prices from €7 to €10 per man, but that could triple or quadruple for a women's cut, especially if you're getting a color as well. For entertainment, museums often have free entry days, but I've seen some tickets run about €20 to €30. Fortunately, the beaches are free and there are festivals and events happening all the time. Before we wrap up, I have 5 money-saving tips for you if you're thinking of moving to Spain. First is about choosing your location, because you can have the same quality of life in a smaller town or village for half the cost of living in a big city like Madrid or Barcelona. Second is where you shop. So you can go to more affordable supermarkets like Aldi or Lidl, but also you'll see a lot of people shopping at outdoor markets where 20 or 30 euro can really get you a long way. If you're eating out, especially for lunch, try that menu del dia. This can be like a 3-course meal, maybe with a main plate and a dessert and a drink for around 10 or 15 euro. So you can save a lot of money there. And when you're getting around, skip buying a car and use public transport. Make sure to get a public transport card, because that can bring your bus fare down from €1.30 to 40 cents in some areas. Also, for housing, look outside of the city center to get the best deals. Make sure to rent first before you buy, so you know if you're in an area that you really love. And try to rent unfurnished instead of furnished, and you can also save a few €100 per month there. As far as the grand total of how much it costs to live in Spain, whether you're a single, couple, or family, we will leave a budget breakdown on the screen for you here in just a moment. But if you'd like to download our free Living in Spain budget template, you can find that link below this video. And make sure to watch this video next to know the top 10 best places to live in Spain this year.